Hola, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo estáis? ¿Todo bien? Seguro que habéis aprovechado para descansar, para hacer este networking que tantos mencionamos, ¿verdad? ¿Por aquí todo bien? Después de este café reconfortante, infusiones, zumos. Muy bien. Os dejo estos instantes para que podáis ir tomando asiento. Ya estamos de vuelta, lo vamos a hacer con una entrevista y es que ya hemos comentado desde el principio, estamos de celebración, son 10 años, esta es la 10ª edición, que esperamos, por cierto, que podáis compartir en redes sociales todos estos momentos. En pantalla veis ahora el hashtag Insurance Challenges, también por si lo necesitáis, wifi y password de este espacio para que sea todavía más fácil subir y compartir estas imágenes, esa experiencia en el día de hoy, en esta 10ª edición. Como os comentaba, vamos adelante con esta entrevista, siguiendo el tema central, el lema de esta 10ª edición, que son 10 años cambiando el juego. Lo que vamos a hacer ahora es hablar un poquito, conversar sobre esta década de innovación en el sector asegurador, pero también conocer un poquito qué es lo que esperamos a partir de ahora y en los próximos años. Para ello me gustaría dar la bienvenida aquí en escenario a Montse Guardia, Chief People Officer de Ideaded, quien estará conversando con Adrien Lebègue, Director General en Europa de Zatec. Montse, Adrien, muchas gracias, un placer teneros aquí.
Gracias.
Fuerte aplauso.
¿Sí? Hola, hello everyone. It's very interesting because with Adrien we are going to cop the scenario. You see all these shares, but the idea is that you are with us in this scenario. So we are going to have a very nice chat over 20 minutes, and we are going to start by, Adrien, by a very easy question. But I'm going to do it to them, not to you.
Yes.
Be prepared. So how many of you, I cannot see you a lot, but I will ask, how many of you know Shongan? How many of you know Shongan? I'm going to see some hands over there. ¿Cuántos conocéis Shongan? ¿Lo conocéis? Algunas manos, ¿eh? No muchas. Some of you there. What happens? Why I'm asking that? Now I'm going to give you some numbers. 500 million of customers. Do you know? You can imagine 500 million of customers, but I'm going to say more. I'm going to say something like 20 policies per year per person. So 5 million is for me already a lot, but if we think about 20 policies per person per year, not bad, right? I think you are doing not bad. But more on that, I'm going to ask you, Adrien, this is about 10 years ago. So now we move 10 years ago, and what happens there? What, Songan? And this is my first question for you.
Thank you very much, Montse. And it's a great pleasure to be sharing the stage with you today. I have to apologize that I have to do the session in English because my Spanish is not good, but I hope there is a lot of insights out of it for everyone.
I'm sure.
And I hope the translation works well as well. And so, Montse, you're absolutely right. 10 years is a big milestone for community of insurance, for this event today. But it's also the 10 years anniversary of this insurance company that started 10 years ago in the China market. And that is probably the largest insurtech in the world. As you said, 500 million unique insurance customers. I don't know anyone in the world having that sort of numbers.
Neither myself.
And
we will
so
see
when
later on. We will see later on because we have the big companies too there.
Yes.
But I think you are right, neither.
And I think to that reflections over the last 10 years, I should probably tell you a bit about that company that was at the very beginnings of the wave of insurtech 10 years ago, that launched as an idea that digital economy, ecosystem business model, was a way to crack the model and bring insurance to the entirety of the population. That was really the crazy idea 10 years ago. We had the same in Europe, but in China, digital economy was just starting. So this was a big bet. And if you thought about it 10 years down the road, as you said, 500 million unique customers, 10 billion insurance policies per year, you can imagine somehow that the power of data, technology, open APIs, ecosystem business model is not just a PowerPoint, it's not just an idea. It is a real, very large business.
It's a reality.
And lots of learnings out of it.
And I like that because some of you that know me, I'm always talking about ecosystem, but in this case, it's an Asian ecosystem. No? We start in Asia, and it's a very beginning where they join together for companies, large companies, right? This is the agreement to go together from different segments, create Chong'an, and then what happens, Adrien? How you got there? Where you were at that time?
Absolutely. So if I take a minute about me, so I come from France. I have been in insurance for 3 generations.
Wow.
So even 1920s, great-grandfather, an agent in our business. So really have this in my DNA. And a bit more than 12 years ago, I moved over to Hong Kong in Asia. I was working with AXA back then. I worked with AXA, Munich Re, some of the large established players. And one day, when I was in charge of digital partnerships, this was around 2016, I got to meet with people from Zhong'an. And I looked at what we were doing back then, the early days of transformation and digital, and I saw how that company was advanced. In this, I told myself, this is the future of insurance. Once again, not concept ideas like the real numbers. Back then, I think there was already 250 million customers. So already numbers, wow, absolutely amazing. And after some time, discovering the model, talking to the people, I got a chance to join Zhong'an in 2018, but not to work in the China market, which is so special. I actually joined to establish a global technology business in order to cover the entirety of the world by bringing technologies, innovation, to insurance companies. So not as an insurer, but as a tech enabler. Why did this happen? Because every time people were coming to China and visiting Zhong'an, every single meeting was about, okay, now that you know what you're doing, can you help us solve challenges in my home market?
Okay.
Whether I'm in Latin America, whether I'm the US, whether I'm the UK, New Zealand, or anywhere in the world, there was such a strong interest, appetite to do something about it.
Okay.
And this is how Ideaded got founded 6 years ago.
This is very interesting for me, what you said about cross-cultural, no? It's like I know my country, my culture, and I know that tech can connect different worlds, different understanding of insurance. And yourself, coming from 3 generations of insurance, you met the technology in China, no, in Hong Kong in this case, and realized it is the only way to get to everybody. So this is the power of get connected and the power of data. This is CA Tech, no? When it was founded.
That's right. So somehow from this concept of if you have the right mindset, if you know how to play partnerships and technology the right way, in the end, you build the technology assets that many companies could use, because not a single insurance company in the world doesn't want, everyone wants to do ecosystem, partnerships, data, AI. So somehow this model was very clear that in order to bring value and expand globally, it was important to do this without becoming an insurer, right? Obviously, this is too complex with regulation and capital, so technology was the right way. And of course, in order to do this, you have to be totally separate from an insurance company. You have to be an independent partner.
Okay, yes, this is interesting because you can go cross-segment, no? Being somebody very close to the insurers, but completely tech.
Exactly. Keeping the access to innovation was running independently, that business. And that's basically what Ideaded has done over the last 6 years. So starting in Japan market, we had in our founding investors very large anchor partners like SoftBank.
Okay.
More recently, very large European top 1, tier 1 funds joining us as well on the investment side. And we started to test value proposition, see whether we could bring value. And if you go fast forward 5 to 6 years, we managed to now be servicing clients and partners in 25 countries. We are a global company. We are operating in Asia, in Europe now for 2 years. And it is also a bit of the reason why I'm so happy to be here for the first time.
So
to explain what we do.
imagine what we are missing, no, in the audience. So we have this company that is 6 years old, that is already in 25 countries, you say, and on top of that, you are serving cross-segment, and also in your investment board, there is cross-cultural, no? There is investors from all over the world, no? You have Europeans, I guess that some Americans maybe, some found or not yet?
Japan and Europe for now.
Japan, Europe, okay, just to clarify, it was important. And the second thing is about cultural-wise, no? Your products are serving to all around the world, also to persons that hasn't been included financially. I learned a little bit about that, and I will like you explain that.
Of course, of course. So if you think about the last 10 years also, you can realize that there has been waves of evolution in our insurance industry. You know, we talked about this even on the side.
About that, yeah.
The fintech days, the insurtech B2C. But for us, it was clear from day one, it is all about B2B. It is all about enabling business models. Today, everyone talks a lot about embedded insurance. In our DNA, ecosystem business model, the logic to support embedded insurance is so strong, so logical. So a lot of what we do is also helping new business models, new propositions. That's one area of what we do at Ideaded. But on the other end, once you prove your value as a team, your capabilities to solve real pain points in the market for your clients, in the end, there is so much more that we're able to do and that we are doing, including in European markets. You know, think about how do you connect digital with omni-channels? How do you create value for agents? You know, these online to offline models, this lead generation, up to also what we have been doing more recently now for 12, 18 months. How do you help insurers on their core platform transformation? And we have really been doing this not because we had a business plan about doing it. We've been doing it because we had partners, clients in many markets asking us to do more and more for them because they saw the value.
This is something that when you explained before and now you are talking about these partnerships, no? I think you use this word like 2-3 times, and I think I could understand, and the audience too, this relationship between business, but from different ones, and this attitude to listen, no? You need to understand what is going there, what is the issue, to just propose the solution in a very innovative way. So, and this is why you were saying it's not more about business models, it's more about to find the right challenge and to be ready to cope with it. What about your people? So
yes.
This is a very important one.
You're right. I think at the end of the day, we should always listen to our customer, and we should always help our customers do a better job for their end users. You know, I say user, but at the end, insurance consumers. They are at the center of everything everyone should be doing. And to us, people is also that reflection. Having enough culture around technology, even from different industries, you know. Insurance is very special, but at the end of the day, you have a lot of insights, you have a lot of expertise that you can bring in. And on the other side, you of course need to be having a very deep understanding of the market. If I tell the story about how did we enter Europe, it was not by putting a sales office and looking for clients. To us, it was for companies, and one of them in particular at first, asking us to help them build one of their new business, setting up a new P&C insurer, bringing the platform and the know-how.
Okay.
How to be able to scale this business. We really try to bring the best knowledge, insights, know-how on top of technology. And that company went going extremely well over the, I could say this is a company that was founded by the Swiss Mobiliar, which is a very large insurance company, and that built a digital new insurance company, a P&C player called Companion. Some people in the insurtech space
Companion, I think we know them.
Some people might know them, yes.
And also you talk about Switzerland, but also you are present in Austria?
We're present in a number of countries in Europe. Now we have presence in 8 countries.
In 8.
I mean, from Ireland to Turkey, to Austria, to Netherlands, and a couple of other markets. It's only been 2 years, so it's still early days for us, but fundamental aspect, we really considered for a long time whether we wanted to come to Europe,
Yes.
or whether maybe markets like Latin America, Africa, Middle East were more relevant for that sort of business model we offer. And we quickly realized, after studying deeply, GDPR requirements, all the IDD and all aspects about very fragmented but tight regulation around insurance, that actually the gap to make sure we can cover GDPR was actually very, very small.
Okay.
So it took us a couple of months before we were able to do
Okay.
this. And now, 2 years later,
Okay.
we are servicing clients across multiple countries
Okay.
in always
Really-
tough situations,
Let
complex,
me-
but we're doing
Let me
this. I
stop
think,
there because you said something very interesting for the Europeans ones and for the ones you have faced regulation. No, sometimes it's Europe is too hard on regulation, that stops innovation. But in reality, if you know what you want to do and how to do it, regulation helps also to establish new products and to get to more, let's say, more fragmented but more very personalized persons that are in different countries as Europe it is, no? So I like it. This approach about it's not a problem. At the opposite, it helps us to personalize much more our product and to get much more options for the rest of the world. I like your idea. Thank you, Adrien, to share with us this part. And continue on that topic, we just said, yes, we started like 10 years ago, but in reality, CA Tech is 6 years ago. But in reality, in Europe, it's 2 years ago. No? We are coming here. And really, these 2 years is getting crazy. 8 countries already. You are present here with us in the insurance. That, as you said, we are celebrating 10 years too. We still talk about InsurTech. We should, and we know that insurance world and tech world is still in some companies are not joined. No, I'm coming from insurance and there is the tech, or I'm coming from tech and there is the insurance. But in your case, it's like very clear. You separate. You say, I have knowledge on insurance, but I'm a tech company, and I'm helping the insurance market. This is something that is a trend. It's going to happen. This is how you see the new tech, this new InsurTech. It's going to be really tech helping insurers, but really founded and with people coming with large knowledge on insuring. This is maybe your trend, or?
Yeah, no, you're right. I mean, you make me think about one of the biggest touching moments in my career with ZA Tech was several of my clients telling me, Adrien, you and your team, over the last 2 years, have changed the way we think about our core business. This was a very large life and health insurance company, an extremely large, successful business. They say, in the last 2 years, you have made our change mindset, our transformation, happening for real, while we have tried for the last 10 years many ways and consultants and ideas, but it was never as deeply coming into our mindset and our hearts the way you done it. And I think there was no more, I would say, touching moment in my career than clients realizing that actually transformation only happens if you deeply know why you're doing it and how you should do it. And this is something where I really strive in ZA Tech, which is technology is the foundations. How to play with technology, how to do the right things for customers. Nowadays, it's about Gen AI.
Yes.
We discussed about, for content generation online, you can create thousands of segments of customers.
Exactly.
And you can have real-time content generation created by Gen AI to be as personalized as possible for the customers. Technology is there. Who has started to do this in insurance? Very, very few. If you don't get the mindset why you should do it, of course, it takes longer. If you have the right thinking, the right ideas, and the right partner to help you on this, things become very logical.
And this is something we have been talking about in the last years, is how we can get this empathy, when we are coming from the tech world, how we can get empathy to other worlds, other functional business worlds like insurance, but also in the opposite. No? As you said, I moved myself from a clear 3 generations of insurers to a real tech, to lead a tech company in Europe, globally, and also with 25 countries, so all this big scenario. It happens, and an example. It's going to be, it's because you have been in other countries. This is something I always ask, no? Because we have been traveling around, sometimes we change our mindset. And what about your French ADN moving to China? How you feel that? How you are? Tell us a little bit about that, Adrien.
I mean, this has been an amazing part of my life, way beyond the career. And I realize sometimes we overemphasize on the differences. And of course, regulatory, even in Europe, by each country, is different. But actually, if you think about the fundamentals of our core business, insurance, customers, protection gap, education, financial inclusions, whether you're a young person who never bought insurance yet, whether you are high net worth, whether you're a young family, end of the day, 95% of what it needs to get delivered to the customers is the same. And so I really realized going into markets, from Japan, China, Southeast Asia, and now for 2 years in Europe, 90%, 95% is the same. It's really all about how do you actually deliver the right proposition to the customer and whether you have the assets and the right mindset behind it. And a bit as a closing word at the end, last 10 years have been a lot of different waves, not always successful. But I'm very optimistic about the transformation. These days we talk about Gen AI, and there will be new waves of opportunities. But end of the day, it is really all about the customer and changing the mindset to succeed in transformation.
So the message for all the audience will be, don't get attached to what you already know, because the world is changing so fast, and your needs are going to be the same, but your solutions are going to be different. No? And globally speaking, this is how we are as a human beings. So we can be having a need in Spain, but this same need could be happening in Japan or in Malaysia, no? And this person, no, with different culture, different background, is going to need an insurer close. And that's what you have been designing, no? Giving solution borderless, no, without these barriers, and cultural-wise, no, trying to cope with empathy with the others. And that's what tech is helping us, no? Next steps, no, we were talking, and this is my segment now, nanotechnology, we are talking about all these changes that are coming, and how we can cope, in your case, no, with your company, how you cope with new, no, we have in Gen AI, but next year maybe we have, we always have new tech, and we are having more and more development on that. How you are prepared, how you select your team, how you select the opportunities.
Yeah.
How you
So I would say 2 things. Number 1 is to have the right foundations. And for us, it's a core platform that is flexible and evergreen. We really always maintain best capabilities, top-notch technologies, that you never have a real gap at one point in time around capabilities, right? Second, it's also a lot about partners. Gen AI, I think we talked about Microsoft before. It's really a lot about how do you plug in services into the journey for client that at the end augments the capabilities for the agents, for the service customer representative, for digital and direct end partners. So that flexibility, versatility is essential. I would say the third point is to really sometimes look outside in and always keep a breath about what's happening in the other industries around. If you think back to the ecosystem, insurance is never standalone. Ecosystems mean you are connected with partners from other industries, and sometimes they could move faster than you, sometimes you help them to move faster. These days we talk about this Web3, we talked about Gen AI, we talked about the electric vehicles. You should get a lot of inspiration from your ecosystem partners and always upgrade the offerings, the value you bring to them. if you do this properly, I think there's no risk for missing a breakthrough. You are always going to be ahead of the curve.
You're completely right, and I like to highlight what you said about ecosystem. No? I think it's clear that here, today, we are going to have we have startups, we have good solutions. We have some of them that have been there for 10 years already, and already they are companies, they are not anymore a startup, it's already a company with clients in the market, recognize it. And there is also the large groups that are here, and all of them, today, in this insurance challenge, insurance world challenge, is the way to meet. This is the next steps. Globally, we are going to have to meet, to create ecosystem, to cope with the changes in the IT industry, in the technology, but also because we know that we are going to dispersonalize insurance. You started with embedded insurance, and then moved to these 20 policies per person. In all the segments. So this is meaning that in 2 years, in Europe, is going to happen that, it's going to be, we need to be able to create new products, to do it fast, and to go for everybody. Just a little bit question for the end is, we talk about inclusion, we talk about different countries. What is the aim? Why you are? What is your purpose? What is going to happen in 10 years? I know that is very difficult, but what is, Adrien, where you are going to be in 10 years?
Yeah. I mean, I think we are already moving the needle as a company. So ZA Tech has already helped its clients and partners issue more than 500 million policies. So it's still small compared to the inspiration, the Zhonggan case, but still 500 million policies. It means we are helping our clients and partners know better their customers. In average, I think worldwide we say every insurance person has 1 point something insurance policy, right? So it means there is about 1 point something interactions, if there's no claim, with that customer. If you think back about that North Star of this 20 policy per customer per year, that means that every month, in average, customer will purchase 1.5 policy. From an insurance side, it means you know so much more. You have insights. You know the type of policies. You know if it's travel, if it's health, if it's motor. You build profiles that are much more accurate, much more relevant. And at the end of the day, look, if you ask me, my own ambition for the next 10 years is to really try to help the whole industry become more customer-centric, know more deeply about the customers and become more relevant. Stay and more be relevant for end customers. That would be a huge achievement.
Fantastic, Adrien. I'm going to close with this word. Adrien, please, Zhonggan, ZA Tech, joining Asia and Europe, and globally speaking for a customized and relevant insurance world. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Montse. Thank you.
Gracias, Montse, Adrien, por este fantástico speech.